I made this skirt for the start of the Victorian project, and while at the time I thought I'd done a fantastic job, I can see now that it has some problems and I really want to fix them. Hello, it's Izzy back with what I hope this is not foreshadowing, a shorter video. I love this skirt, but it has just a few little problems and they are annoying me, and I really want to fix them up, especially as the vest that I've just finished is so great. I want the skirt to live up to the promise of the vest, if that makes sense. So I have a few problems with the skirt, which you can't see quite here. Actually, you can. So problem one, the gaping pockets. The idea is fantastic. The execution is a little bit off, just a teeny bit off. So what I need to do is a couple of things, I think. And it also, the second problem will also be fixed as well. The other thing that I've done that's a problem is there is too much material at the back of the skirt, in the pleats at the back. I've got, I can't remember, I think it's like 5 meter hem on this thing, and like it feels like 75% of that is in the back. What that means is that this front profile, which I am standing on tippy toes so you can see, is really slim. It is not the profile that I would like. Now, the whole thing is not too bad right now because obviously the rest of the underpinnings are still on the mannequin. But if I add in a bum pad, and the petticoat, both of those problems become slightly even more exacerbated. If I was just wearing this skirt as sort of a kind of slightly modern look, I think it's not too bad. But if I'm really looking for that Victorian silhouette, and I am, it's not quite cutting it. So the other thing that happens is when I add in the bum pad and the petticoat, that actually, because of all of the weight pulls the whole thing backward, it actually exacerbates the gaping pocket problem. So, the current plan is I'm going to unpick the waistband. So the waistband is currently in 2 sections. There's one section that goes around the back and sort of in here to the front of the pockets. And then there's a separate waistband that goes on the front that covers the top of the pockets. So one step is to unpick the front waistband and just take out about ½ centimeter, sort of for about 3 or 4 centimeters across the top, just to pull up that angle of the front pocket a teeny bit. Not much, it doesn't need a great deal, just needs to be lifted up a teeny bit, and that should take out the front gape. The second part of the plan is to actually release all of the pleats at the back, unpick everything. That is a big bad job and I am not looking forward to it. And then to move more of the volume from the back to the sides. So if I just kind of fake some pleats here, that should give me more of the Victorian kind of silhouette that I'm after. There are slightly later, heading more towards the Edwardian, that do have that very slender sort of front, but it's not like the bigger hip spring suits me, so I'm going to do that instead. So that's the current plan. Now, the other thing that I may or may not do, I don't know, it depends how fancy I'm feeling, as I will be taking bits off, I'm going to consider whether I want to add any additional decoration. It is a very plain skirt. It is straight up and down black. There's no fancy stuff at all. I do have a bit of leftover velvet. So I'm going to evaluate whether I want to add any trim, because I mean this look cool with a with a velvet border around, sort of a velvet ribbon equivalent, a step up from the base of the skirt. That might be quite nice, but we'll see. And I'm not sure, I'd have to work out if I have enough or not. So, but that's the current plan. Take the waistbands off, readjust the pleating at the back, change the way the pockets hang at the front, and then hopefully the whole thing will come together just a teeny bit better. So let's try that. Hi, so I've made the changes to the pleating at the back and I am very happy actually. It's made a huge difference. So previously this was a lot straighter at the front. The volume was at the back, but it was very much pulling here because all of this volume here was concentrated towards the back. So now what happens is more of it, basically the tension pulling the skirt towards the back is being released and the whole thing sits a lot better. I'm not wearing any undergarments, support, shapewear or structured otherwise. This is all just me. So we still have a lot of lovely swish. The hem is still even. Much easier to talk now. The hem is still even, which is good because I sewed that on in a way that can't be adjusted with any sort of ease because I got very fancy. So the other thing I did was on this pocket, I just unpicked this section, which was terrible, and then just lifted that a little bit, just so the pockets sit a little flatter. The other one seems fine. It doesn't seem to need anything. Actually, I think it was the other way around. Anyway, the pockets sit flat now, which is great. So I'm very pleased with the changes that I've done. It was worth the effort. It didn't take too long, the unpicking. It was absolutely worth the effort, just to make the whole thing sit better. And also in future, I'm going to do this if I need another walking skirt. I'm going to have the pleats as knife pleats facing forward at the hips because I get this really nice kind of sort of almost 1940s cape skirt style thing going on, where it's like a straight skirt with like a caped overskirt. It's kind of creating that vibe, which is good. That's quite flattering. I think that's going to work. So that's my changes to a skirt I really didn't even finish that long ago, but it really is giving me a much better Victorian / Edwardian silhouette. And it also means the skirt fits a little better across the front as well. So anyway, thank you for joining me for this video where I unexpectedly revisited something that was finished. But that's what sewing's about, isn't it? It's about taking things that don't quite fit us right and then making it so it's fabulous. Even if that thing that doesn't quite fit you right is something that you made just a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago. I don't know, I've lost track of time now. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me here on YouTube. I appreciate it very much. You can also find some of my sewing adventures over on Instagram, details in the description. If you haven't, please do throw us a follow here. It's very much appreciated. If so inclined, please do give the video a thumbs up. It helps find an audience. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.